The Trish's Wish Foundation will host its 16th Annual Walkathon on Saturday, June 1st. Claudia Sitzma, Kawartha Lakes. The Trish's Wish Foundation will be hosting its 16th Annual Walkathon beginning at Victoria Park in Lindsay on Saturday, June 1st. Participants are encouraged to join the effort and can walk, run, or ride their bikes on either the 12K or 5K courses. To date, the foundation has provided over $350,000 to families with children aged 17 to 25 who are facing a serious illness or who are dealing with results of an injury and who could benefit from financial assistance for medical costs or for traveling expenses to medical facilities. The Trish's Wish Foundation first began fundraising in 2004, initiated by the family and friends of Trish Peter. Trish was just 17 in the year 2000 when she was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, a form of cancer. In an effort to help Trish, the community rallied to her aid and held its first walkathon in Little Britain to help raise funds for her medical and traveling expenses. Sadly, Trish lost her battle to the disease in July of 2004. However, the group remained committed to her and her memory and gained momentum with each passing year. Shirley Eagleson, president of the Trish's Wish Foundation, said, "Trish Peter was an amazing young lady. Trish would never judge anyone, and she always said hi to you. If you needed help, she was always there. Trish enjoyed life, sports, music, and fashion, even designing her own look. It became Trish's wish for us to help others, the same as we did for her." Shirley Eagleson credits the success of the foundation to the many volunteers and over 1,000 community members who have walked in the walkathon, and the many businesses who have made their contributions to the Trish's Wish Foundation a priority over the last 15 years. Shirley continued, "Many thanks to all our volunteers and to the 100 business owners who have donated money and prizes for this year's event. We also just recently received a $1,000 donation from the Little Britain Credit Union. All of the money we receive goes directly to our clients. There are no administrative fees. As of today, with everyone's support, we have helped over 79 families living in the city of Kawartha Lakes." As well as hosting the yearly walkathon, the foundation volunteers have organized live concerts, dances, baseball and golf tournaments, and craft shows. This year, special guests Mayor Andy Letham and Laurie Scott MPP will be showing their support for the Trish's Wish Foundation by making opening statements at the walkathon at 9 a.m. Volunteers who would like to register for this year's walkathon can still do so by signing up at the event on June 1st in Victoria Park. To make a donation, volunteer for other events, or become a member of the committee, please go to their website at www.trishaswish.ca or email them at trishaswish@hotmail.com. The walkathon officially begins at 10 a.m., and there will be a live band and a free barbecue on site. Scugog Hotel Plan announced. Dan Curran's Scugog. A plan for a hotel development in Port Perry was announced at an event on Thursday, May 23rd. A proposal for a Comfort Inn and Suites to be located on a portion of the Sunnybray Golf Course lands, with an entrance off of Highway 7A, was announced in Prince Albert at the golf course. I had looked at least 3 or 4 properties. I have driven the town crazy. Little did I know that our own golf course was zoned for a hotel, Dory McDonald, Sunnybray Golf Course's owner, told those in attendance. When Mrs. McDonald learned of the zoning, she partnered with Doug and Ann Leno to bring a hotel to these Scugog lands. Choice Hotels Canada, the parent company of Comfort Inn, was the only one she contacted. "I felt it would be a good match for Port Perry. I felt like the brand suits our town," Mrs. McDonald said. "I felt great and comfortable with them. Sometimes I think things are meant to be, and when you have a great relationship, you don't want to break it." Mrs. McDonald thinks she fills a need in Scugog. "All I've ever heard is Port Perry has wanted a hotel, and it might be great for Sunnybray, but more importantly, it's great for the whole town," she said. The hotel is expected to be 4 stories, offering over 60 rooms. Graham Marsh, Franchise Development Director for Choice Hotels Canada, told The Standard what else people can expect inside the hotel. Indoor pool, fitness room, small meeting space, and all the other amenities. He also explained why Port Perry is the right fit for their chain. Port Perry is the perfect market we are looking for to grow in, looking at tertiary markets throughout the province of Ontario and the rest of Canada. We look at these markets as phenomenal opportunities for us to show not only how good our product is, but how it caters to both business travelers and recreational travelers alike, Mr. Marsh said. Mr. Marsh estimated if work on the hotel began this fall, the hotel could open in the fall of 2020. Mrs. McDonald spoke about the process. We have to go through the Ministry of Environment. That's the biggest step. Hopefully, we would like to say we could start in the late fall, but more likely we could start in the spring, and it is between a 9-month and a 1-year build, she explained. We also have to go through the region and the township. Scugog Mayor Bobby Drew spoke about the excitement of this project being announced. We are really, really excited. They are in the preliminary stages right now, but they are ready to go. There are still some hurdles to get through, site plan agreements and all that, but they're gung-ho and we're gung-ho and everyone's excited about it, she said. It's just great news. We're going to have a lot more people coming through Scugog Township and we want them to stay and enjoy our township. She also talked about the timeline of this hotel opening in Scugog. When the drawings are done and the site plan is approved and when the permits are all done, then we will have an idea of exactly when, Mayor Drew said.
Strong showings at LOSSA Track and Field Championships. Marlowe Stanfield, special to the standard. The teams from Uxbridge Secondary School and Port Perry High School turned in stellar performances last week against the top high school athletes from across Durham region at the LOSSA Track and Field Championships. Dozens of local athletes took to the field at Oshawa Civic Stadium under sunny skies on Wednesday, May 22nd. Uxbridge finished in 5th place in the team standings with 26 podium finishes. Meanwhile, the Rebels turned in a quality over quantity performance, finishing in 18th place, but with 7 top 5 finishes amongst 9 competitors. A pair of Tigers earned double gold medals. Griffin Anderson took top spot in the senior boys 800-meter and 1500-meter events, with Cole Jennings winning the junior boys 1500 and 3000-meter events. Uxbridge also earned a pair of gold medals in pole vault. Jerry Bunkowski won the senior girls event, and Noah Snooks won the junior boys. Raymond Laconian claimed gold in the midget boys javelin event. As well, the Tigers had several gold medalists in the Paralossa competition, as A.J. Pike, Jaden Collins, and Claudette Cohen-Gardiner all finished in first place. For Port Perry, Lily Tuck led the way with a pair of gold medals in the senior girls 1500 and 3000-meter runs. The top performers from the LOSSA Championships will now move on to compete in the Central Region Championships, which will be contested at Civic Stadium in Oshawa on Wednesday, May 29th. From there, the top performers will advance to compete at the OFSA Provincial Championships in Guelph. Flying too close to the sun. Erin O'Toole, MP. According to Greek mythology, Icarus flew too close to the sun and plunged to his death after the wax in his wings melted. In his iconic poem, Williams Carlos Williams depicts Icarus's fall as an afterthought. Insignificantly, off the coast, there was a splash quite unnoticed. This was Icarus drowning. The fall of Canada's Icarus has created a splash that has been noticed. When Justin Trudeau came to office in 2015, he promised to climb to new heights on his Sunny Ways wings. He promised a return to positive politics and promised various groups of Canadians what he thought they wanted to hear. He promised electoral reform to woo voters and the left. He pledged to restore veteran pensions to woo voters on the right. Trudeau promised to be Canada's first feminist prime minister and that he would achieve reconciliation with Indigenous Canadians. He promised to be all things to all people. Like Icarus, however, Trudeau discovered his mortality the hard way. Trudeau made promises to win, but not to deliver on. On electoral reform, Trudeau abandoned his declaration that the 2015 election would be the last conducted under the first-past-the-post system. On veterans' pensions reform, the government marketed a Pensions for Life program that is nothing of the sort. Instead of making governance more transparent, Trudeau has ignored and shown disdain for different voices, revealing the emptiness of his Sunny Ways promise. The Liberal government has continued to force through omnibus bills after promising to never do that. Though the Prime Minister calls himself a feminist, we learned that he bullied or ignored his party's brightest and most competent female MPs. In the SNC Lavalin affair, for example, Canadians found out that Trudeau sought to coerce Jody Wilson-Raybould to ignore her ministerial responsibilities and to do his bidding. He yelled at Whitby MP Selina Caesar-Chavanez when she shared with him her desire not to run for re-election. Trudeau also showed his lack of commitment for Indigenous reconciliation when he ejected Wilson-Raybould and MP Jane Philpott, the two strongest voices on that file, from the Liberal caucus. The only sunny finding from the SNC scandal is the realization that there are many MPs within the Liberal Party who are willing to stand on principle and against Trudeau. Across the board, Trudeau has demonstrated his focus on style over substance. While bedazzling Canadians with empty promises and progressive rhetoric, Trudeau has proven unable to deliver. The federal budget is no closer to being balanced. Instead of prioritizing pipeline construction and sustainable economic development that would benefit Indigenous and resource communities across the country, Trudeau has proven unable to get the job done. And though Icarus falls in silence in Williams's poem, Trudeau's fall has been anything but silent. Trudeau's failure to respect the rule of law has negatively impacted Canada's standing in the world and has led to examination by the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. I recently had the pleasure of speaking at a debate organized by the Churchill Society for the Advancement of Parliamentary Democracy. Churchill knew the value of rhetoric, but more importantly, the power of hard work and commitment. Historian Martin Gilbert notes that Churchill was fond of the motto that the heights achieved by men and kept were not achieved by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were toiling upwards through the night. In our debate, I said the 2019 election would be about authenticity. It doesn't matter how many promises you make if you do not follow through with them. There has been no sudden flight with the Trudeau government, but a steady fall from grace as people realized the Prime Minister was not the authentic brand they advertised. In the lead up to the October election, the Trudeau Liberals will make a whole new set of pledges. The difference is that this time, Canadians understand what happens when you fly too close to the sun.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.